Hello, this is Paul Harris from PH Tutoring here. This is probably the final video, I think, maybe, on quadratics. It's the second part of quadratic graphs, and I think this will hopefully be quite a short video. And I just want to focus on the turning point. So in the last video, we talked about the three formats of an equation, which can be used to find the several different points on the graph to help us to sketch it. So we've got the turning point, the y-intercept, and the x-intercepts. But we're just going to be focusing on the turning point this time. So yeah, I'm going to link it to transformations of functions. But just to recap then, when we get into this format, we find out that this is the negative of the x-coordinate and this is the y-coordinate. So I'm going to actually, I'm going to just keep it in that one there, and we're going to just turn it off, and oops, I'm going to turn it off by pressing that one there, and I'm then going to just plot the most basic of quadratic equation, which would just be y is equal to x squared. Now, and then we're going to see what happens if we were to minus a value from it, like minus 4. It goes down 4. Minus 3 goes down 3, right? So when we did transformations of functions, you find that so for example, what I'm doing here, I guess, maybe I'll do this on a separate frame. Okay, so basically, what we've got here then is if we have a graph, any sort of graph, and then we add 1, then we end up, it lifts up by 1. So for example, I had x squared. If I then x squared and I add 1, it goes up by 1. Okay, so this it's not just actually transformations of functions or transformations of graphs. Specifically, it's a type of transformation which is a translation, and let's say of graphs. Often it's called translation or transformations of functions, but it always means of graphs, really. So how do I move it? That's how to move it up and down, by adding something or taking away something at the end. So I can make it go down by that. How do I make it go to the left or to the right? What I do is I add something in here. And so basically I can add 1, and it goes the opposite direction, right? Or I minus 1, it goes to the right. So essentially, as it says here, we've got f of x plus 1, and we've got a vertical translation by the vector 0, 1. And all that means is it goes up by one space, by one place, okay? But if we're doing a translation on the x-axis, okay, let's make that a bit smaller. Then I've not explained this very well, have they? Because I've got this confusing arrow which points down, which looks like it's going down. So I'm going to just get some better images here to demonstrate my. I'm just going to do my own in the end, I think, actually, because I couldn't find any good ways of doing it, and do my own, and it links exactly with what I'm doing, doesn't it? So let's do that. So this is x. So horizontal translation, and you can see that it's. Where's my pen gone? You see, I started off with the green one, and I've gone to the right by +1, and this is so basically, if I do f of x plus a, where in this case a would be equal to -1, then this means graph moves to the left. Maybe it makes it more sense to say x minus a, and therefore a is 1. So graph moves to the right. So it moves the opposite direction to what you'd expect. Graph moves to the right by a, by however, whatever a is. Okay, so if that was -2, it moves 2 spaces to the right, or if it was +2, it moves 2 spaces to the left. That's horizontal translation. So, and then vertical translation. Okay. All right. How do I stop? How do I get rid of that? Just undo. Okay, cool. Y is equal to x squared, but this time I'm going to add 1 and it goes up. Okay, so let's move that up there. Now let's take a screenshot of that. Let's make all this a bit smaller. So the vertical translation is a bit easier to see and understand and get your head around, because it doesn't do the opposite to what you would think, and you don't have to put anything inside brackets or anything like that. So what we've got, okay, what we've got here is we've got f of x, and this time you put the, and then when I say plus b, and what happens if is graph moves up by b. Okay, so finally we can combine the two, and we could have y is equal to, I'm going to turn the other two off, and I'm going to turn that one off. Y is equal to x plus 2 all squared, so it's gone 2 spaces to the left, and then we're going to plus 1, and it's gone 1 space up. Or, and this is how it links now finally to completing the square, plus a half, and then rather than plus we have minus, so it goes to the right rather than so it goes down rather than up, and then rather than 1 we do 6.25. So it goes down from the 0 to 6.25, negative 6.25, and it went across to the left by a half. So, and that is why the completing the square gives you the turning point, because it was originally at 0, 0, but it's moved to the left by a half, and it's moved down by 6.25. Okay, so that I think concludes a series of videos on quadratic equations. I hope you found them helpful, and yeah, get in touch if you'd like some lessons or yeah. Okay, bye.